water, where they're foraging on animals like squid. We don't know why they get a bit lost and sometimes stray into shallower water, but there's various sort of hypotheses as to what happens in that situation. They're very cohesive, so they stick together. So when one gets in trouble, quite often lots of them get in trouble because they're staying together. Because obviously, if you're a social species, you don't want to get separated from your group. But if your group finds itself in a difficult place, then the whole group tends to get in trouble. Also, when they start to get into shallow water, sometimes sediment can obscure their ability to be able to sense their environment because they use echolocation.
Move them into the oceans when this happens? It's a question I often hear people asking.
Yes, sometimes it is possible. Now, the larger the animal, the less time there is to be able to get the animal refloated because their body mass is normally supported by the water. So once they're exposed to air, the body mass, the weight of their body is supported by their skeleton, and they compress their internal organs. They overheat very quickly because they're normally swimming around in cold water. So there's a very narrow time window to be able to get these animals back floated and back into open water. So usually it has to happen within the first few hours if they've got any chance of survival.
So the damage, being out of the water, is literally is sort of irreparably damaging their system anyway.
Yeah, so they've got a narrow window in which we can get them back floated, or they can free themselves from the beach before they start to get organ damage, tissue damage from the compression and the body temperature elevating because they're starting to heat up. They've got a very thick layer of blubber, so they're evolved to stay warm in cold water. So as soon as they're exposed to sort of the warmth of the air in the day, especially if it's a sunny day, they'll overheat very, very quickly. Now, there are trained volunteers around the coast that are operated through the British Marine Divers Marine Life Rescue organisation that can respond very quickly to these events, but sometimes, unfortunately, the situation is such that the animals cannot be refloated.
What do we know, Simon, about where they were going, kind of their pattern of travel? What do we know about why they were there and what perhaps might have happened?
Well, we know that pilot whales are found in the deeper waters off the Scottish coast. So when we do surveys, they're usually found around the areas where the seabed starts to drop off